This edition of the Wrestle-Cast is dedicated to the memory of Daphne Unger. This is a presentation of RVT Entertainment.
This isn't about the dead, it's about the living. It's about my mother. It's about my sister. It's about my wife. It's about the 14 years it took me to go from undesirable to un-goddamn deniable.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true.
Because I'm better than you, and you know it.
In the back, there are men and women, seasoned professionals, dues paid in full, gunning to be the best.
I'll always light the way, and all you have to do is let me in.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. The cream of the crop. Nobody does it better.
Hey, hi, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wrestle-Cast, presented by RVT Entertainment on the Broken Infinite. God damn it! Every time, and I'm in a particular mood where, like, Windows decide to screw up the whole audio thingy again because they decide to be at Windows, of course. So I couldn't hear myself through the headphones. I'm like, oh, I gotta fix this, gotta fix that, gotta fix these two bozos' audios. And when I'm in that mood, I forget that I'm supposed to forget that URL. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Wrestle-Cast, presented by RVT Entertainment on Podomatic.com, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever else we find this audio recording. And live on RVT Entertainment official Twitch.tv channel. I don't care. I am moving on. My name's Matty. That is TWK.
Hello, I'm TWK, and over there is Bottom Matty.
It's been a while. It's been a while, ladies and gentlemen. Tis a while. Tis a while. Join us, of course, Shintigercurl. Shin?
Who are you?
Who am I? I'm Matty J. Who are you?
How do you know me?
What are you talking about? We see your movies, man.
We
What
see
movies?
your...
What movies? What are these?
You know, like Casino. You were great in that.
Where'd you see it?
I mean, it sucked because, you know, I heard about it.
Who showed you? Who showed you this movie? Who are they?
IMDb.
How do I get in touch with these people? What's their mother's maiden name?
It's IMDb.com.
How you know me and I don't know you? Who are you?
Because you're a famous actor.
You don't. Are you trying to tell me something? What did you
No, I'm just saying that I'm a fan.
do? Are you saying you fucked my mother?
What?
Fuck my mother. I know you did. I could hear it in your voice. You motherfucker. You fucked my mother, didn't you? You did.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
My mother's been dead for 5 fucking years. How the fuck would you fuck her?
I don't. What?
Tell me. Like, wait, let me guess. You made a time machine, didn't you?
Excuse me? What?
Yeah, you made it. You're here to tell me that you made a time machine. You went back in time to fuck my mother. You did some time fucking. So you tell me that you went back in time, fucked my mother, and had me. Huh? Is that what you're saying? Huh?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
Yeah, I could hear the fucking guilt in your voice. You fucked my mother, you motherfucker. You did.
That video has been living in this man's head rent-free, ladies and gentlemen.
Had to make up for last week.
Yeah, and he was supposed to do it last week, so there you go. Wow. What a week. What a week. What a week. Jesus Christ, what a week.
Yes, sir.
The highs, the lows, the WWE, so more lows. And we have a show, no clip, because we have to cram almost 3 hours of wrestling stuff into 90 minutes. And I know these guys want to go to bed eventually, so we're going to take care of that, of course. So we got All Out weekend. We're going to talk about the card soon, closer to the winners and losers, which we have as well. And of course, all kinds of stuff and your things to keep you occupied and happy in your head places. Allegedly, anyway. We have stuff and things. Gentlemen, shall we begin with the stuff and things? We begin, however, on the somber note, as you saw in the graphic. We'll bring it up there. It is. There's Shannon Sprill, Daphne Younger, who passed away. She, man, I don't know how else to approach this other than to say there was a Instagram live video, or I believe it was just a straight up video on the stories from Daphne's Instagram, which pretty much looked like a note, or sounded like one anyway. And a few hours later, as per confirmed by Shimmer Women's Athletes from the family, Daphne is no longer with us. I feel weird about this. Obviously, this is a sad moment, and we do encourage you, if you feel like you are struggling even a little bit, it's a good idea to talk to people. And we will repeat the message that's been put up a lot lately, and we will repeat that again. If you feel like you need help, don't feel bad about it. It's okay. But this is on one hand, I feel for it because I've known people who've had thought of that stuff, and it's never ever fun. It shouldn't, obviously, and it sucks. But I've not seen. I've joined after Daphne was with David Flair, so I kind of missed out on that boat for a second.
Mm-hmm.
But I get why people loved Daphne, the Scream Queen. She was awesome. But I feel ill-equipped to talk well of her work if I've only seen limited versions of her.
Yeah. As I mentioned before we went live last night, I knew of Daphne's work. I used to watch her a lot back during the days of WCW when she was with David Flair and Crowbar, and she just captured me like that. Like, I was used to the divas of WWE, and she didn't look, she didn't act, she didn't talk, she just was completely different. And whenever she was with Crowbar or with David Flair and they were on screen, I knew some crazy shit was happening, and she always did crazy shit. And I just it was such a joy to watch her, and she was just so different, like a breath of fresh air back then for me.
And it's easy to see how she would influence wrestling when you see how people would take stuff from her. You know, you'd see Paige and Rosemary and people like Sue Young and various others and Mischief.
And what's more even heartwarming and heartbreaking at the same time, what's bittersweet, is the influence that she's had in behind the scenes. There are some people like Dakota Kai showed a story when she was having her first tour in the States, and there's Daphne helping her out, being a helping hand.
Yeah. And we can't talk about how her influence is without her work in TNA.
Yeah, during the beginning days of the Knockouts division.
Yeah,
she was there.
As bad as as bad as TNA was back then for an overall product, the knockouts were in a league into themselves. They were just
You
firing on all cylinders.
you watch TNA for two things: their X division and their growing women's division, their knockouts division.
Yeah. And while she wasn't up there with the likes of Gail Kim and Awesome Kong, who we'll hopefully talk about later, she was doing shit that even to this day a lot of women wouldn't do. Like she was taking hardcore bumps, taking shit that I had never seen a woman do. Like
She was one of the first women in the modern age to do color, to actually bleed intentionally.
Yeah, I believe it was like her and Lufisto, really.
Her and Lufisto were the two. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and even though it was a shame that TNA screwed her over when she got hurt that one time. And
Yeah, and unfortunately led to the end of her career.
yeah,
She was able to have a few matches in Shimmer, and I've watched some of those matches. If DNA wasn't so freaking stingy, we would have had a few more years of Daphne, and who knows what would have happened there. But
God, just imagine how good she would have been in NXT's women division or the AEW's women's division.
Or some of the modern women of Impact.
Yeah, especially the modern women of Impact. Imagine her and Rosemary going at it, and
oh no, fuck that, them together.
Oh, that would be Zombie Hot and Rosemary. That's my dream. That would have been my dream female tag team.
That's an Impact Tag Team Championship duo right there.
Yeah.
And people always say, "Well, why not?" I was like, "Why not?" That would have been awesome.
It's freaking Zombie Hot. Yeah, I always call her that since Taz dubbed her that on that one night on Impact that all those years ago. Zombie Hot.
It's a good coin. It's a good coin phrase. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, she was the first woman I was terrorized by. Like she terrified me, but still
terrorized. Yeah, it's like scared and horny at the same time, ladies and gentlemen. That is a thing.
I don't know where to run for my life or get condoms. That's the kind of impact she had on me. So,
I mean, folks, say what you will. That's not entirely inaccurate.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, she will definitely be missed.
Absolutely.
Basically, everyone she had contact with, because there's just loads and loads of messages I saw. Mick Foley had an excellent blog post about
Mick
her.
Foley was one of the first one that I think one of the few people who saw that video was like, "Could someone check on her?" He was trying to contact her, and I feel bad for Mick. He must be so heartbroken.
Yeah,
I don't blame him.
He was one of the first people to try, and apparently she moved to a new address, which is one of the reasons why it may have taken longer for anyone to find her.
Yeah. But one of the tweets I really liked came from the Hurricane, and he shared a video of him taking a Hurricane Rana from Daphne back in WCW.
Right off the top rope.
When he was, I think, wasn't this when he was with the Young Dragons or with 3 Count?
I think this was probably 3 count, but I cannot be 100%
with
sure.
The Young Dragons.
You sure?
Yeah, that was Jamie Noble.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Okay, so it was Young Dragons. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
He commented how proud he was to let to put Daphne over like that by letting him do that move, and she always used to tell him that was one of her favorite moments in WCW when he let her do that to her. When he let her do that to him. So,
and of course, she is a former WCW Cruiserweight champion.
There we go.
And we'll put up the picture. That is exactly her that is a championship she's holding right there. Look at her. Yep. Happy in her head place.
In fact,
that's how I know she was a wrestling fan. Holding a championship like that. Come on.
Yeah, and most of the belts she won were men's belts.
Yep.
Also, to show how much of a fan she was, along her waistline are various tattoos of wrestling masks. I remember her talking about that during an interview, and I thought, whoa, that's pretty cool to have all those like various masks tattooed all across there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it must be, I would imagine that'd be painful.
Yeah, but it's Daphne. She was tough as fuck.
That she was, and she will be very missed.
So
Very
missed.
much so. All right, we got to liven the crowd up a little bit there, T-Dub, and I know for a fact that we need to shit on Vince McMahon, but I don't know where we will do that. I will let my co-host over there in the Virginia dictate where the list goes. Go right ahead,
Why
bud.
do you mention McMahon? Because he's first on our list.
Oh
No.
Well, it's heavily rumored that NXT is about to be taken over once they go live by Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard.
NXT is dead. This was Brian Alvarez reporting this, so this is normally we put a grain of salt on this, but even when Brian Alvarez is screaming doom and gloom on NXT, folks, NXT is dead. How could it not be dead when Vince McMahon was the reason NXT was good was Triple H? And guess who? Vince coming in, fucking things up. And let's be fair, it's not going to be as effective. I'm going to let you talk there, Shin, in a second there. It's not going to be a heavy influence for now. But, let's be honest. It's Pritchard and McMahon. They're going to fuck it up. Go ahead, Shin.
We already know it's dead because they're doing a wrestling wedding on NXT.
Well, wrestling weddings happen in all promotions.
Yeah, but not NXT. NXT doesn't back in the old days. They didn't do stuff like this. It was just about the wrestling.
To be fair, this was a storyline that started before Vince took over.
Yeah,
and it's Indy Hartwell and Dexter Lumis. So
I'm talking more about the old days back during its peak.
Cyber Rider, Bucktooth. I think you're talking about Kevin Dunn. Bruce Pritchard is Brother Love. I love you. I love you. Thank you, Tito.
NXT was already dead when Karrion Kross got jobbed out to Jeff Hardy, but now,
at this point, folks, no. What it was now, with the benefit of hindsight, that loss was a shot through the heart, and you're too goddamn late. And turns out NXT wasn't a coma. Then Vince decided to get the fucking pillow. Fuck the plug.
NXT was already dead in the ground, and then Vince and Kevin dug it up and threw it into Mount Kilauea. And Vince just turns right around and says, "It's such good shit."
I have this image in my head. It's wonderful and it sucks at the same time. Jesus Christ.
Wonderful and sucks.
Isn't it that horse? Well, let me beat it up some more. Kick. Good shit.
Well, speaking of something that apparently was wonderful and sucked at the same time.
Oh, God, MD. Oh, I have to read this. And Happy Corbin, yes, that's Baron Corbin's new gimmick name, which is fair, is being ruined via Logan Paul. SmackDown's being muted. It wasn't muted before. Continue.
Why are they keeping Logan Paul on television? Nobody likes this guy.
Because he's a pay-per-view draw, and you know how Vince likes pay-per-view draws.
Well, anyways, speaking of things that's probably not going to be a pay-per-view draw either, Nia Jax versus Charlotte happened, and...
Okay, I watched the match in full, and I make it a point to review the wrestling in the ring and not, throw trash at the person in the ring. It's not fair. But I'm reading the room, and the room's saying, "Fire this fat broad! Get her back at." I don't care if she's tight with The Rock. Get her back at the PC, and don't tell her not to come back until she can wrestle good. Look, I get it. Vince likes Charlotte, fair enough, but she almost fucked up the Golden Goose, and they worked shoot.
Yeah, I heard that Charlotte almost got dropped on her head.
I saw that slam, and it's amazing she was conscious after that. Like, Nia, people say that Seth Rollins was unsafe because of what happened with Finn and Sting, But this
both
is
both are freak accidents, unfortunately.
Those are freak accidents. This is just Nia being unsafe, considering her long list of injuring other women.
Folks, if it happens once or twice, coincidence. After that, it becomes a pattern, and it's not a good-looking one.
It's starting to become a problem at this point, really.
Like, at this point, the scary thing about it is the WWE, in my opinion, isn't going to do anything until she legitimately ends somebody's career.
Which I hope that it doesn't come to that, because, you know, like, there are several women that they really depend on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Hopefully something gets done eventually. Someone who will definitely never be returning ever to the ring, ever, is AJ Mendez. According to her husband, Mr. Chipmunk Punk.
Good one. Yeah, AJ Lee, someone popped a question out there, said, hey, are you going to return? And AJ Lee went, nope.
Yeah, Sam Punk did an interview, and he said, yeah, that's not happening because she has neck injuries, and that's basically why she retired in the first place, and neither of them want to see her get hurt and aggravate it any further.
Yeah.
Could be a never say never kind of a thing, but with a neck injury and all that stuff. And a lot of it, some mental issues, I'm sure, propped up. And, you know, it's like one of those, well, neck and mental issues. Yeah, that's going to be a no. That's going to be a no. Can't blame her. Can't really blame her.
Much as I want to see AJ back in the ring in some capacity, got to think about her health first.
Which is great for her to think that. And there's a part of me going, come on, you started this. You at least, even if you only take one bump, just you being in the ring, enjoying the adulation of starting this shit. She was way ahead of her time, unfortunately. And that's you could say the same thing about everybody when you think about it, but it is what it is.
And speaking of someone who never really got to bask in the glory of helping start this whole gimmick, Paige, she might be returning soon.
She brought up her contract status on her Twitch machine. Turns out it's expiring next year, and her neck is feeling a little better.
If Edge can come back, Paige can come back.
Hopefully.
And
it would be very nice because, you know, she was like one of the original people from one of the original women from NXT for that division.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be nice for her to get some proper adulation for the work she put in there, because her run on the main roster was only like a year before she got injured, and then she came back, and then a few months later she had to retire. So
yeah, it's crazy to think she had about a year to a year and a half, and she's accomplished so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like it's just scratching the surface of her career. She still has so much left to do.
Bigger question is, would she come back to the WWE with how the women's divisions are now?
Well, I could see it as a yes, because she still has very much a lot of loyalty to that company.
They gave her a lot, to be fair. Yeah, but Soraya Jade in AEW?
Honestly, AEW could use her more.
They could, but I guess all depends on if she wants to go there. But one person who is all but confirmed to show up at AEW this Sunday is the person whose destination is unknown, Ruby Soho.
It's all but confirmed that she is going to be the lady to be determined in the women's casino battle royale. We will discuss this, of course, a little later on. But at this point, I mean, she ain't going to the Fed.
And I'm sure we've all seen those vignettes, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. At this point, it's become tradition.
I just really like how hers was filmed, where she seems to be the only person who wasn't released from a prison and instead is just going on a journey, like a road trip.
Yeah. And Devin McRae's pretty much calling it Ruby Soho as the Joker in the Battle Royale. Don't spoil this shit, man. We're not even there at the preview yet.
Yeah, but I do like how when she's going to check her ID, she originally pulls out her Heidi Lovelace card.
Which, hey, that's a beautiful name, but Ruby Soho's just as good.
Oh, yeah.
Just as good, folks.
and I cannot wait to see her debut. But one person who still has yet to debut anywhere and is a 100% free agent and is just trolling everyone these past couple of weeks is Adam Cole.
Adam Cole, baby!
Thank you. Yeah, he's just trolling everyone.
He is enjoying the fact that it's like his wife on Dynamite on Wednesday. I got the biggest announcement. I'm the biggest free agent. I get it. It's me. I signed an extension. Tongue cheek. DMD.
And she reminds us that she is a fucking heel.
Yes. Folks, a couple that trolls together stays together. That's pretty much what they're doing.
I have to ask, did Adam Cole show up on the party this week, Shin?
I believe, I don't know if he did, but he still has some ties to that. And by the way, word, JC, word from is that the deciding factor was his Twitch channel. That's what we've read. That's what I've read from SRS.
Mm-hmm.
Who, by the way, is in Chicago enjoying a CM Punk ice cream bar. The lucky son of a bitch.
Oh, so he's definitely in AEW's pocket then. I knew it!
He probably bought the fucking thing, to be fair.
Yeah, I know, but one of the running jokes with Sean Ross Sapp is that he's in both WWE and AEW's pocket at the same time. And thus, it's just this running gag. Because whenever he writes anything positive about WWE, someone says he's in their pocket. And then he shows up a message like, okay, then show me this. Here's this message. And someone saying I'm in the other company's pocket. Which
Betrayal!
God damn it.
We're having fun, man. I got 90 minutes. You guys are probably gonna watch Dynamite and break some fucking news, and I'm
Rampage.
like, come on, I can't watch it.
Rampage.
AEW.
Dynamite's not on Fridays anymore, Matty. Only Wednesdays and Saturdays.
I'm tired. I had to handle 2 Karens today.
Oof, that's 2 more than anyone should.
Bullshit customers, folks. They are everywhere.
Oh, yes. That's why I just leave the manager to do that.
Thankfully, I was able to handle both, but let's just realize that it's fucking Rampage. You're going to watch it. I can't watch it live because I'm streaming.
Well, one person who definitely enjoys busting Karen's asses is Awesome Kong, who officially retired this past weekend during the NWA Empower pay-per-view.
Yeah, Gail Kim was in the ring. She was being interrupted by some people. Awesome Kong beat up some people, picked up a microphone, which is a rarity for her, at least in the Awesome Kong character. And
usually she's a silent killer.
Yeah, and she went on the microphone. Said, I want to retire with Gail Kim in the ring. And she practically did that. Which, by the way, NWA Empower, fun pay-per-view.
Yeah, I heard.
They had a fun pair of pay-per-views. Technical difficulties aside, of course, but I will get to that. I'm sure we'll get to that eventually.
Goes without saying that I would have to say that Awesome Kong, along with Gail Kim, are 2 of the most important women in modern-day women's wrestling.
And it's interesting that, both of them had very minor runs in WWE in the grand scheme of things.
They have. I mean, Gail Kim, women's champion, she won in the Battle Royal. It was like too much too soon, and she didn't reach the height anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, they didn't give her a chance.
No.
And especially during her second run where she really tried, but like during that time, it was like 2009, 2010, like they didn't really care about the women's division at all back then. And during Gail Kim's last match, she eliminated herself from a Battle Royal to see if anyone noticed, and no one did.
Nope.
I actually did.
Oh.
Yeah, because like I said, I was high on Gail Kim, and I was like, okay, let's see what she do, and she eliminated herself. I'm like, the fuck?
I think that was like a no one noticed. I'm like, okay, fuck you, I quit.
Yeah, her contract was already running out anyways. So as soon as that ran out, she went back to TNA, and basically that's where she's been ever since.
Yeah, she ended her in-ring career, and she's had a behind-the-scenes kind of role, even in Ottawa.
Yep.
And when went for in 2018.
Yep, and she doesn't have to worry about money because she's married to Mr. Irvine, who is a rich chef.
Yep. But God damn it. Kong and Gail Kim's feud during the early days of the Knockouts division.
Folks, if you
legend.
didn't, it's one of those you had to be there kind of rivalries.
And just to show everyone how important this rivalry was, it was the overall highest rated segment on most Impact shows.
Yeah. Because they went to war with each other.
People were tuning specifically to see this feud.
I mean, we're talking. I'm not talking like wars that you might see in the Divas or the current women's division. I'm talking to like Gargano Ciampa levels of just in your face brutality.
Like I said,
shit
you
out of
had
each
to
other.
be there for him because he's not kidding.
Like I lived for Gail Kim versus Awesome Kong back then. It was the feud that established the Knockouts as being different.
It was
And
that
what made it
jam.
work-
It was the
and what
jam.
made-
That jam.
And what made it work was that they kept it simple. It was big monster heel versus scrappy underdog babyface. And go.
And they beat the shit out of each other, and it was great.
Indeed, it was. And in the shocker of the weekend, your winner and new NWA Heavyweight Champion of the World, Trevor Murdoch.
You heard that right. Trevor Murdoch is NWA World's Champion. It happened at NWA 73 at the aforementioned NWA 73 weekend. It was the third of a series where Trevor put his career at stake if he did not win the championship. And he won the championship. He actually, I will say this, his whole feud, his whole thing on the run up to 73 was a kind of a tribute to his trainer and mentor, Harley Race. And he wore a Harley Race's a jacket very reminiscent of Harley Race's in-ring jacket, which was a nice touch, I thought.
Man, we're just seeing super champions fall left and right this year.
Yeah, all this over 1,000 days.
Yep.
As the NWA. Now, obviously, that was padded because of the pandemic, but still 1,000 days? That's something.
Mm-hmm. First Walter, now Nick Aldis.
Who is the longest reigning champion now?
I
Let's
think that
see.
might be Roman.
Nick Aldis is currently at Nick Aldis's reign ended at 1,043 days.
Yeah, 1,043. I think the next super champion would be Roman.
Yeah, he got the belt last summer, I think.
Yeah, literally 365 days. He's SummerSlam to SummerSlam.
Yeah.
No, he didn't win it at SummerSlam. He won it the week afterwards.
Yeah, he won it the week after, but still SummerSlam. He's 365 days. Yeah.
And coming in a distant second is Kenny.
Yeah, 370 at this moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he got it like in December, I want to say. Yeah.
Yeah, Kenny got in December, so he's in second right now.
And I can't really think of any other long reigning champions.
Lashley's had it since February, I think.
Yeah, February. So he's over the 200-day mark, I believe.
Okay. So he's in third.
By the way, if you're hearing some noise in the background, that is indeed a butt ton of fire trucks going past Pink Road, which is behind in the backyard. So I do
Lashley's
apologize.
at 180. Lashley's at 185.
So he's close. He is close to the 200-day mark. Okay.
Yeah,
What
the
about,
last person to go over 200 was Drew McIntyre at 214.
Aha.
Yeah. How long has Josh Alexander been X Division champion?
Oh, let me look that up.
Good call. Good idea.
Because he's getting into super champion territory right now.
Starting to. I mean,
Yeah.
he's about to face Chris Sabin eventually, so that's a thing.
And we'll wait for T-Dub to get back with the numbers.
Almost there.
Wait.
Beep boop boop beep beep boop.
Currently
beep,
at
boop.
132.
Not too bad.
The last person to go over 100 was Rohit Raju with 120.
Oh,
I didn't even know he was X Division champion.
He was. I think he was just at the beginning of our run, our current run of Riff Zone Riffing.
Nah, he won the title in August, and he lost it in December, right before we start watching again, to Manic.
That's right. That Josh did take the belt off Manic. Okay.
Yep, then Manic lost to Ace Austin, who then lost to Josh Alexander.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
All right, T-Dub, let's move on.
Alrighty then, moving on. Speaking of Impact, on this week's show, we saw the debut of the one who is outlandish. That's right, it's former NWA television champion, Zicky Dice.
Zicky Dice, and I love what they're doing with him too. Good Lord, it's most professional, and they're doing an impromptu gut check. Well, you're cut. But I am a person. You're cut. I speak a foreign language. Cut.
And it was down to Zicky Dice and a guy by the name of Manny Lemons.
Manny Lemons.
I feel that Manny Lemons might get over with the crowd just because of that name.
Yeah. Manny Lemons. It's a good comedy gimmick, folks.
And I think Zicky Dice could be a future X Division champion.
Maybe.
Especially as a heel, because he could be like that anti-X Division style wrestler.
Do what Billy Ray did with the X Division title before the, but in more of a traditional, hey, I'm going to defend it like it's the TV title with a 605 time limit. Okay, he's probably not going to be allowed to do that, but yeah, go. Sorry.
Or he could pattern himself after the greatest X Division champion of all time.
The greatest thing in life?
The finest thing in life, Douglas Williams.
Ooh, hey, that could work.
Only with 50% less bricks.
Unless they're pink bricks, but no, you're right. True. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. Nothing wrong at all.
No. Sometimes technical wrestling requires the usage of bricks.
And by bricks, we mean potatoes, and by potatoes, I mean stiff fucking shots.
No, what I mean by bricks, I mean actual fucking bricks.
I mean, it's Douglas Williams. I'm pretty sure those were mistaken for bricks, but
No, that's how he beat Shannon Moore to retain the X Division title.
Oh, yeah.
Hit him in the head with a fucking
an actual brick.
You thought I was talking about potatoes?
No, I just remember that. Jesus, that's a deep cut.
Come on.
That's a deep cut, dude.
Douglas Williams is British, not Irish.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm like, well, potatoes in the wrestling terminology, of course, but I forgot. Jesus, that's a deep cut.
That was one of my favorite moments of Douglas Williams as X Division champion. He was wrestling Shannon Moore. Next thing you know, he pulls out a fucking brick and hits him in the head.
A fucking brick, hits it behind the ref. 1, 2, 3. And apparently Shin's on the floor laughing.
I'm still here, but yeah.
Well, back then you were probably on the floor laughing.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much.
One thing that had nobody laughing, though, this past weekend was cops shutting down MV Young's Polyam Woodstock because of stupid fucking neighbors.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Repeat that?
MV Young was trying to hold a Polyam show up in New York, but it got shut down by the cops before it could even get fucking started. But MV Young, being the amazing person that he is, as well as Stephanie Sterling, they were able to get everyone paid for showing up regardless.
So they had an outdoor show.
They were trying to.
They were going to have that. They were probably going to respect the social distancing, all that stuff. They were outdoors, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it was an outdoor show.
And some prick neighbors saw the fun, going, no one shall have fun not in my backyard. Gotta throw in the NIMBY. Not in my backyard.
Yeah, it really sucks. But of course, everyone thankfully still got paid for showing up, who was going to be on the show, so they didn't miss a payday. So huge ups to MV Young and Stephanie Sterling for stepping up and helping out that, because Stephanie did a stream to raise money for them, and MV Young still paid them. So fucking awesome stuff for them.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can get a new Poly M show sometime in the future, because those are fantastic shows from what I hear. And in a final bit of news, some of the best news this week, Matt Cardona unveiled the new championship for GCW, the Game Changer Wrestling Universal Championship.
Folks, it is a glorious piece of heel work, if nothing else.
And
Purple. Spinner logo, purple fucking Velcro. Folks, if you're a GCW fan, you want to choke Zack Ryder dead. But if you're us, we're like God damn it, I forgot to turn on the master button folder for this, but I need to find the golf clap button, because damn. Do I have a slow clap? I think I have the slow clap button somewhere. Aha! That's us. That's pretty much us.
Yep.
That's pretty much us.
And he'll be defending it tomorrow at GCW in an open challenge. And for those wondering, no, Nick Gage won't be participating because he's busy with a War Games match against 440.
Ooh, War Games.
Yep. There shall be blood.
Oh, yes. So, should be a fun show if you're going to be ordering GCW tomorrow. But of course, that's all the news we have. But before we get to any more stuff, I believe we have a pay-per-view to preview.
I got some news.
Oh, what you got?
News? Go ahead.
Just 2 bits of news. Hold on, let me pull it up. All right, first bit of news concerns our good boy, the Dark Father, Malachi Black. He states that while at FanFest, he suggested that he actually wants to make his own faction, including the Butcher, the Blade, and Abaddon as his theoretical House of Black faction.
Book that shit now.
Well, if that does happen, I guess then the Bunny would be included, right?
Uh-oh. Are we off the air, folks? No! Don't do it now. Don't do that shit now.
No.
All right. Hello, boys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. We're off the air, I think.